This week's practical task is to create your own guerrilla marketing campaign stencil. So you can either use a photo from the hashtag Better For It campaign for Nike and create a mock-up of like what that might look like, or you can find your own picture. So the first thing to do is open Illustrator, select a new artboard. This one I've selected Web Large preset, but you want to probably have a large enough preset so that the photo will paste on. Don't forget you can edit the artboard, and we will do that in a bit. So find your image off the internet. This is the Nike Better For It campaign that we talked about in the lecture. Obviously these are selfies from active people doing exercises. So paste in an image, and then you'll see this option here called image trace. Now this then converts an image from a raster file, which is a bunch of pixels, into a vector image. It also splits it into just two colors, so black and white. Now there are other selections under the image trace option where you can do more colors, but for this basic stencil you want to just click the image trace and let it do the default. Now you'll see a minute ago I clicked the expand button, and that basically split up the image into various shapes. Okay, so I've got more shapes than just the one shape in the one image. Now what I want to do is crop that image. Now in Illustrator, the crop function is done by creating a layer mask. So if I've just got my pen tool here, and if I draw a shape around the image that I've just traced, so I've got my image underneath and I'm just drawing a shape over the top of that, that's going to be my clipping mask, which means the shape's going to be the size and shape of whatever shape I draw now. Now I'm selecting that shape that I've just drawn and the image that's underneath it, so hold the shift button while you select both, then right click on it, click make clipping mask, and it will crop it to that size. The other shapes there you can see underneath are underneath, but they won't show when you export that image as a PNG. So I can now edit my artboard to obviously get rid of all this stuff that's around it. I can delete any bits of white there. You'll see just now I clicked a bit of the white shape, and then just press the backspace delete button, and then that deletes it. So you can see there's still the image underneath it, but obviously when I drew a shape around it with the pen tool on top of it and then clicked make clipping mask, it made a clipping mask. Obviously I can edit my artboard now, so just go to document, edit artboard, pull the artboard in around your stencil shape like so, and then once you've done that you will have an image that you can export as a PNG file, and then that will also preserve the white transparency in the background. Okay, so the next step is to save this as a PNG file. So I'm going to go to my not the save as function, but the export function. So I'm going to go to export as it as a PNG, call it Banksy style logo for example. I'll replace the one I did earlier, but yes, and you can see there in that little preview that it is transparent. Click OK, then you've got essentially what is a monochrome stenciled image. Now if you wanted to actually cut that out, if you were to print it onto a piece of rigid card and then cut that out with a razor blade, you could actually physically spray it onto any surface you like. But obviously because we're digital, what we're going to do, I've got a Shoreditch art wall image here that I've pasted into Photoshop. So that's in Photoshop, and now I'm opening my PNG. As you can see there's some transparency behind that. I'm going to then shrink it down, or I might just give myself a little bit more of this wall. So you'll see to my right I've got my layers. I've got my logo that I've just imported on the top, and then underneath layer 1 I've got this wall. So I'll just move the wall down a little bit, give myself a little bit of space to put my Guerilla Marketing stencil on, move it into the right place, and then to give it the look and feel of something that has actually been sprayed on with a spray can, what you're going to want to do is, well, firstly, if you're opening a PNG in Photoshop, it often opens as a smart layer. So the best thing to do is rasterize it so you can do more changes to it, and then you can fiddle around. You can move the opacity to make it a little bit more transparent. Obviously when you spray on a surface, it's not always, some of the surface paint, especially if it's white underneath like it is here, will actually show through. So to get that look, change your opacity. Then if you play around with the layer style, if you click on any layer or double click it, you get this layer style options. So you can go into texture and have a look at the different textures. This particular one is called trees, but as you can see, it gives it a kind of a feel as if it had some sort of textured paint. And then you can change the depth as well. So I'm just going to put that scale there to 17, change the depth. As you can see, it's already looking a bit more sort of graffiti style, as if it had been sprayed. But if you use the blur tool, you can get that sort of blurred thing. Change the size of your brush, change the hardness, get your blur tool, and then you can actually just hold the mouse button down, and you'll see as I'm rubbing over it, it's getting that more sort of faded look that you often get when you do the stencil spray can technique. So there's that. What I'm going to do, because it's a campaign, I'm going to put a Nike tick next to it. So I'm just going to copy a Nike tick. If you ever find an image that should be transparent, you go to save as and it says JPEG on it, then it probably isn't a transparent image. Most transparent images are PNG style, and also if you copy and paste a PNG, often it comes out looking like that. So those are just a couple of issues that you might have to deal with. I mean, the easiest way to do it is if you just copy the image and then open it in Photoshop and paste it. If it has got the background, you can always use your magic wand tool there just to click on the bits that aren't the black tick and then do that. Now this black tick, obviously I want it to look the same kind of feel and texture as the sprayed logo that I've just done. So if you copy the layer style on one of your layers and then right click on the layer and go paste the layer style, you'll see now the tick looks exactly the same as the bit of stencil art. And then the only other thing that I'd want to add to that campaign is obviously the hashtag, because the hashtag is hashtag better for it. So I'm just going to use my text tool, type the words, type the hashtag and the words better for it. Then I'm going to obviously change the font and the style of my text within the text tool. At the top of the thing, you'll see that there's at the top of the screen, there's a list of fonts. So type out the words that you want and then make sure you've got them all selected, and then just change the font. I'm going to use stencil font quite obviously for obvious reasons. So if I get the stencil font and then I make it the right size, so this is 72, that's about right. Once I'm happy with that, click the tick to apply that transformation, move it to where I want, and again obviously it's rendered really bold, so I want to copy the layer style from one of the other layers like this, go onto the layer and then paste that layer style, and then what will happen is that layer style will come out on the actual words as well. So again, all those three things now look conceivably like a kind of a mock-up. And if you were pitching to a client about a guerrilla marketing campaign, for example, this is something that you could very easily do digitally without actually going out on the street and doing any vandalism. Obviously you don't want to vandalize. When we looked at in the lecture about the Coca-Cola marketing campaigns and some of the bigger corporations, what you'll often find is what they do is they use essentially what is a kind of chalk based paint, so that it will just come off. I think that's kind of how to get away with it, although you probably want to research that yourself. But I know that there are paints out there that will not last on surfaces forever. Obviously, you know, chalk based paint will wash away very quickly and cause no damage. But essentially now what you've got then is a mock-up image of a wall in Shoreditch with a little bit of a kind of stencil design on it, and a hashtag for a marketing campaign. Now what you could also do, if you don't want to, you could play around with this, so you could also use like your own photo. If you get a photo that's like a close-up image, particularly if the colouring or the lighting of the image that you've taken has got some complete extremes. I mean, obviously with my face, especially something like here where I've got a big pair of sunglasses on, and having a beard as well helps. You can actually make your own images in the same way into a kind of a stencil logo. So if I take my image here and then I paste it again, just pick one of the presets. Web large is generally the default that I usually go for. Make sure I've got enough size there. Essentially you can edit it afterwards anyway, but the function that you want there is the image trace function. That's what will make your images into a sort of a black and white vector image. So this image is now a selection of shapes. So I'm just making a clipping mask here to kind of crop the bit that I want to focus on, which is just that, essentially my face. And the expand function then breaks that down into even smaller shapes. So within this function, this image trace function in Adobe Illustrator, it allows you to break down an image into different colors. It will break it down into separate shapes like this, and then obviously you can use your direct selection tool to select different bits. So I'm just deleting some of those letters that are around me. For this task you don't need to be, you know, that neat. It's just as long as you've got a really defined kind of image. You can use one of your own photos to do that. And yeah, this is a photo of me from the Museum of Communism in Prague. So it's difficult for me to get rid of all those letters, but don't forget I can kind of crop the image a bit more in Photoshop when I add it to my Shoreditch wall. What you can do is delete areas of white as well as black, and you can also edit the artboard. So obviously once I'm happy that I've got a basic shape and a basic stencil, I mean, you know, again, if you was to print this on a piece of card and I was to cut out the black areas, then obviously I could use that as an actual stencil and I could daub paint on it onto pretty much any surface and recreate this image multiple times. You know, part of the reason why they use stencils and why they've become so ubiquitous with the modern world is because they are so easy to produce, and you can actually create multiples and multiples of images. You know, you could become like famous overnight, not just by having a tag, but by having like a very distinct kind of stencil image. So again, just save that as a PNG file. If you go to export as, then you can save your stencil logo image, Guerilla Marketing stencil. I'll just save mine as AWI Banksy logo. Export that. You'll notice that in the preview there, the background color there is transparent, so that's very useful. And then if I go to my Shoreditch wall, I can then open that image or copy it from Photoshop or from the documents, or drop it in, or copy and paste, or just go to File and Open as well. Where a lot of people get confused with Photoshop is they forget that you have to open images in Photoshop. Yes, you can copy and paste, but if you're just getting it from an image, you'd need to open it, and it'll open on a separate thing. It's quite useful because it means that I can then use my selection tool to select the actual bit of the image that I want to use. I can also get rid of certain white bits if I've missed them in Illustrator, so I can then I'm just going to get rid of these bits of white so that the rest of it, and also just get rid of this little bit here as well. And then I'm going to get my crop tool, my marquee tool rather, draw a little box around it, press Ctrl C to copy it, and then go back into my Illustrator program. Go back into the other, sorry, actually I'm already in Photoshop. What I need to do is open the image of the Shoreditch wall, which is actually, if you get into this thing where you can't see what you've got in Photoshop, if you go to that window function and arrange, you'll actually see both of the windows that you've got open. So that's quite useful if you're navigating around the program and you've suddenly lost everything like I just did, because it can be a bit confusing. But yeah, once you've drawn the marquee tool around, copy and paste. So there you go, now I've got another layer. And don't forget, I've saved the layer style for all my other bits of sort of graffiti that I've placed on this wall, these bits of stencil graffiti. So I can actually paste that layer style back in, and it'll just change whatever sort of stenciled style image I've got there into that sort of spray paint style that I created earlier by double clicking on the layer and going into the layer style and adjusting it to add like a texture to it to make it look like a spray paint kind of job. Don't forget, I can also use the blur tool then to sort of rough it up a bit, make it look more sort of authentic. But again, these kind of things are really good if you're doing mock-ups for clients and you're telling them about a particular guerrilla marketing campaign you might want to do. You know, you can create your own logos as well. It's quite good for marketing your own brand image if that's what you're interested in. And then yeah, once you're happy with wherever it is you want to place your stenciled image, then save the whole thing. So I might want to put like my face over here. I might even decide that I don't want all of that, so I could always use the marquee tool to draw around a bit that I don't want. So this bottom bit, for example, delete that and just clear that, and then I've ended up with a little kind of, you know, sort of stencil image of my face on a Shoreditch wall. I was getting my other bits of guerrilla marketing are getting lost there, so I'm just going to move them around a little bit. So there you go, there's the hashtag better for it as part of that campaign. And there's my Shoreditch wall. Once you've finished with that, save it as a JPEG, and then you might want to sort of move your letters around as well. Essentially try and make it look as authentically sprayed up as possible, and then when you're happy with it, then just go to save as, and then save it as a JPEG, so it's one flattened raster image. Nike Guerilla Marketing, I'm going to call this version just Guerilla Marketing, and save that, and then you have got a final image of a picture of yourself or from the Better For It campaign, and you've successfully created your own Banksy style stencil logo and sprayed it on a Shoreditch wall. Well done you. So give yourselves a round of applause, hand it in on canvas, and I look forward to seeing those designs.